Hello and welcome to another update video about XLM. XLM is currently moving in a potential corrective structure to the upside. We're observing that. The overall outlook on the chart is rather questionable, if not bearish. Okay. The problem is that initially it rallied only in 3 waves. This is not an impulsive structure. So this could be a lot. Yeah, this could be a triangle count. It could be bearish. Yeah, absolutely. It could be bullish as well, but it would need to prove itself. So there's plenty of options here on this chart. They are not clear, and that makes this chart so difficult. The biggest problem here is as well, or the next biggest problem is that after 2020, the low, price only rallied in a 3-wave structure, not a 5-wave structure, and it did actually come down in 5 waves. So it's not great, okay? So I'm primarily observing or watching for a 3-wave rally to the upside currently in a wave 2. Yes, other interpretations are possible, but I would need to prove that. So that means primarily I'm looking here for a 3-wave move up. In this 3-wave move, it could get one more high, however. If it forms another higher low and another higher high afterwards, it will create 5 waves, and then we can look more positively into the future. Yeah, then we have at least some evidence on the chart that the trend is really up. And we have 5 waves up, and we can look for 3 waves down for the next reliable trade setup. But at the moment, we are only looking for 3 waves up, and then we have the next decision point. But even in this structure, ideally, it's getting one more wave up. I mean, if it can't even do that, this is a warning sign. But why is another high possible or even likely? Because I'm tracking this as an A, B, C structure. In a C wave, it can get here one more high because it did a 1, a 2, a 3. This wave 4 is, to be honest, really, really long. There are different ways how this can be labeled. No need to go into too much detail here. The wave 4 could, for example, be a triangle, or we've already completed the wave 4. You can always ask questions in the comments if you like some more detail, but I don't want to confuse everybody. But bear in mind, the wave 4 should not break below 12.5 cents. So as long as that level is holding, the focus can be on higher, but I'm very much aware that below 12.5 cents, this chart will get even less reliable than it already is, unfortunately, but is currently hovering above support very clearly in a triangle. A breakout to the upside of the triangle could send it in a C wave higher, first of all, to resistance at 20.58 cents. Ideally, though, higher. In one of the previous updates, we calculated here a target range between 22.5 cents and 23.9. This might change a little bit, this specific target range. It will depend on where, in the end, this, let's call it triangle, or this wave will finish before it breaks out. But you need to be aware that we are pretty much moving in a triangle pattern. There is not much more space left. It's a pretty boring chart at the moment, but typically those periods of low volatility, as you can see here, typically are followed by a pretty nasty move, depending on which direction it's going, right? If you see it as positive or negative. But yeah, this is really everything I can tell you at the moment. We need to wait for a breakout. Currently, balance of forces at play here in an Elliott wave triangle, holding above support. I prefer another move up, but bear in mind, this is not a reliable chart. So things can change quickly on this chart. It's basically moving in 3-wave structures. Any chart that's moving in 3-wave structures, it is not so attractive for trading because it is, as you can see, very, very choppy. It doesn't really give us a very clear view. I mean, very strong setbacks. Yeah, also here, 3-wave rally. It's just, and long term, and that's the biggest problem. I mean, long term, you see that it has basically, you could argue, since 2017, this has just been moving sideways. I mean, what's so attractive here? Right? I don't know. A coin that has moved like only sideways for 5 to 6 years. I don't know. There are many of these coins, and I don't like the charts because, yes, you could argue it's in an uptrend because initially it rallied, but then it leaves the question of how reliable are these startup candles here, that stuff in the beginning, if since then it hasn't managed to make a new all-time high, and it hasn't. So that's why I'm looking for 5-wave structures, trying to find them. If I can't find them, I don't see any reliable prospect for a long-term uptrend. Highlighted here in yellow is what we would need to see to be more positive about it long-term. I have no problem to get more positive about it long-term, but I can tell you that if I don't see 5 waves, we continue to move in unreliable 3-wave structures, And unless you really love the chop and choppy price action and sideways action, then you don't really do anything here. Okay, that's my update about XLM. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.